All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man, Jay. Today, we're going to be talking Z Flip7. So now that I've got my audio right, remember to check this mic out. This is the brand new Fi-Fi K688 podcast and streaming mic. And it is very nice. It has monitoring and everything, and it's XLR and Type-C. So right now, I'm running this mic directly into the brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold7. So this is the first open up video. So if you have a folding device, any kind of the larger folding devices in the same form factor, open up and you're going to love this orientation right here. So let's kick this off. Let's talk about the Z Flip7. So the Z Flip7 is one that is going to compete against this phone. This is a direct competitor for the Z Flip7. That's the Motorola Razr Edge. And I think most times when you see videos about the 7, you're going to see people kind of talking down on it and telling you shouldn't buy it probably. But I ordered it because I have the Z Flip 6. Now, the 6 is one that, I was going to compare it or whatever to the Ultra, but it's just not fair. The Ultra has it beat in some areas. So I pulled up the specs for the 7, the official specs for the 7 next to the 6, and even next to the 5. So first things first, the Flip 7, again, it is every year I promote this form factor because I think this is the form factor that some people should gradually move into instead of going straight to the Fold. Because this folding form factor right here will easily allow you to convert from a slab to a folding phone like this. This is the transition I think people should do. I don't think they should jump straight into going to the Fold series because it's a bigger device. So the Z Flip 7. I can't wait to get it in. I already have my order in. This is my 6, and the Z Flip 7 is bigger than this phone right here in every way. It's got the outer display is updated and everything. So you're going to have, instead of this 3.4 inch display, it's going to have a 4.1 inch display. And I think this is important to note. So instead of looking at everything on paper that you think you might dislike about the device, you've got to look at some of the pros and actual changes to the device itself. And that's not just with this product. That's with every product. A lot of times I'll tell people that I'm not buying something. And then I'll instantly say, you know what, forget that. I'm going to just get it so I can experience it and see exactly if I'm going to like it or not. So I got a feeling I'm probably going to like the Z Flip 7 because I had some hands-on time with it when I was at the event. And I didn't really give you much on that, but I can tell you that device is very nice. The coral red, I think a lot of people are falling in love with that. But specs here, the newer device has a 4.1 inch display on the front versus the 3.4. And on the interior display, it has a 6.9 inch display, pretty much almost matching this Motorola right here with the 7 inch display. And it's moving up. So this 6.7 I used to think was huge. But moving up to seeing it next to the 6.9 version, there's this newer, the 7, the 6, it's different, folks. It's a nice welcome upgrade. So the weight is still about the same at 188 versus 187. You really can't tell the difference. You got the 50 megapixel camera still. You've got, they're saying these things are improved. So I just have to use it to show you and put them side by side to see. Now, most cases and situations, I'm really not able to see too much difference. But sometimes you can. So the 50 megapixel and the 12 megapixel ultra wide are going to be really nice. The 10 megapixel on the front is going to be nice. You do still have the 2x zoom and you have the 10x digital zoom on there. But the difference now is it has Galaxy AI and Gemini Live. So these are very nice. I've actually used it already. And I think that's a huge improvement. Now, some people are up in arms about the Fold's battery coming in at 4,400, but you got to remember optimization, folks. Everybody used to clown Apple for having these smaller batteries when in fact their batteries are optimized with the hardware and the software, and it works out perfectly fine. So just be aware of that. You're not missing out on anything when you focus on the battery size. Now, let's be clear. Some batteries just don't last a long time, but I've been using the Fold since I left, and I'm going to give you an update on the battery again. I've already given you one update in the previous video, but as far as the Z Flip 7 goes, 4,300 milliamps is what it's getting. So it got an additional 300 milliamps. And I think Samsung is, you're going to be able to see the difference from here, because from the 5 to the, when I'm from the 5 to the 6, from my 5 to my 6 right here, the Flip, I noticed a big difference, and also like the hardware and everything. We're talking about 3,700 to 4,000, and now we're talking about 4,000 to 4,300. So they know what they're doing. Now, the elephant in the room, if we want to call it that, or the baby chicken, whatever you want to call it, the Exynos 2500. Some people are already frowning on this as though it's just a horrible thing. I think, though, that Samsung should be using their own products. And I think they should just transition to that. They've got to try it. I mean, Apple's using their own chip. Google's used their own chip. But, they're partnered with Snapdragon. But they're probably going to always have a Snapdragon processor in one of the devices until they don't. So the Exynos processors are not bad. And this one has the Exynos 2500 in there. So some people felt like it should have had the Snapdragon 8 Elite, or at least the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. I don't know. But folks, again, there's upgrades. You've got a Full HD plus AMOLED 2x display, which is ultimately the same as the previous. But, they're claiming that it's going to be, better. So we shall see. There are differences, but you just have to kind of, I think when it comes to talking about specs and things like that, we really have to just use the product. If you focus on what's on paper all the time, you're going to miss out on some great products. And I'm not saying all products with some people, because some people are already labeling this processor as a lesser and weaker processor just because of previous generations. It's like saying that the Note 8 it's not going to be good because the Note 7 blew up. It's just, it's silly. You got to move on. If you choose not to, hey, that's on you. But I'm willing to try everything because I genuinely like tech. And I'm really hoping that this Exynos 2500 performs, because I've already ordered it, paid for it. I'm just waiting for it to come in. Should be on the 24th. And I'm going to give you my honest feedback on this product. I'm not going to just spew out a bunch of stuff just because, Samsung loaned me a Fold. Still got to buy my own Fold. I was going to do it anyway, but if you know my pattern, I always buy, if I get a unit, I buy the opposite. But nonetheless, this Flip 7, I was hoping that they would give me one on loan, but they didn't. But nonetheless, I ordered when I was at the hotel still, when I was still in New York. So I'm excited about it, folks. I hope that you are too. I'm going to give you a real world, honest review. I'm going to use it. Just like that. So I'll leave a link in the description to where you can grab a Flip 7 with a discount, and you can grab this mic right here. I'll also leave it in the description where you can pick up this phone right here, because I'll be giving you a review of that soon enough in the midst of all this Samsung stuff. Doesn't this microphone sound good? Man, channel sponsor for this, 55. Wow, I like that I can monitor my audio. I just don't like sitting on camera with headphones on, but if I do sit on camera with headphones, it's got to be a good one. It's got to be Marshall's. I'm pro Marshall for certain things, and people who like Marshall are considered audiophiles in the music game. But I like Marshall because they have high quality products. Marshall's not sponsoring me, but this microphone, though, you definitely should check it out. You get the full kit, the arm and everything. It's XLR and it's Type-C, and it has headphone monitoring. Can't beat it. And I know you love the quality paired with the brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7. So I hope you opened up. I hope you enjoyed this great aspect ratio, because when I record folding phones or talk about folding devices, I typically shoot in this aspect ratio. It's your man Jay. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's get out of here. Links in the description. Grab it all while you can. Get those trade-in deals. That's the best way to get any of this stuff, is get a trade-in deal, and you'll save a lot of money. So I can't wait to bring you coverage on the Flip 7. The FE, I don't know if I'm going to grab that one or not. I just don't think the pricing is right for me. I think the price is a little high for what you're getting. I don't know. I just feel like I'm buying the same device. I already have a Z Flip 6. And, you know, they're kind of using that same body and using pretty much everything. It's still it has the Exynos 2400 processor inside. So I think they're gradually getting away from Snapdragon in some areas. And maybe this is a sign. Maybe this is a sign that they're actually going to move away from Snapdragon and bring us something really good. And they're testing it out with the Z Flip7 and Z Flip7 FE first. So some people will be upset if the next version of the Ultra comes out with an Exynos processor, or they just gradually move away from it, period. I wouldn't be upset though, because as I said in the other video, I need to trademark this, but I'm more impressed with performance other than specs. That's what I'm into. Performance over specs. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. All the links are in the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.